Hello and welcome back to the Flour Gold Wizard channel. Today we're on a creek that I know has great gold in it. Rigby came along with me today. I've got my sluice set up with the screen on it. We'll do a couple of test shovels to see if we got enough water flow to actually have that screen work on there. And if not, I did bring a classifier, so don't go away. It's going to be a great day. Back in a bit. All right, this is my first sample shovel right here, just to see if we can get my sluice screen working properly. And I don't really have as much pitch as I typically like to have, or water flow for that matter. But what I'm wondering is if I have to classify this stuff through my classifier into a pail and then down onto my sluice, maybe I should just shovel it on my screen, classify it on my screen, and then brush it off. I think that's saving a whole step. Now the real question is if I'm getting enough turnover on my riffles here, exchanged, that I'm exchanging out the heavies for the lights. And so far it looks like it's taken quite some time to get these riffles cleared out of some of that lighter wash sand. So I'm going to give that just a minute and we'll pick it back up in a minute. Nice out here. Look at that. All that snow's gone. There's the rig bomb. Back in a bit. All right, now what I want to do now is test my sluice. I got it set up over there, and I threw 10 or 12 reasonable size shovelfuls in there, and some had clay and something didn't. I just kind of mashed it through the screen. And then what I did was I did a couple of sample pans in here, and I did a few before I set the sluice up, so I know there's gold here. But in the particular area that I'm digging right there, I wanted to make sure that there was gold that I was putting on the sluice, and there is. And I'll show you a typical test pan right here. All right, where is that stuff? It is right there. All right, there's 4 tiny weeny little teeny dots right down in here. You can just barely see them, but then there's a nicer piece right there. Okay, so I'm pretty excited about that. We're doing well. I would think that any pan I can find around here, 5 to 20 pieces or so, I'm going to have the likelihood of hitting somewhere in this creek, let me give you a little bird's eye view here. It's coming down and there's quite a bit of gravels and there's lots of areas to work, all right? And this area here, I'm particularly interested, this big inside bend here. Let me get down here a little ways. So as I'm looking at this creek coming, it's going back up there and then back up there and around, and then there's another S-turn over that way. But right here, look at this big old bench right here. And it's all nice and soft. This is the warmest I've been outside in a long time. So I guarantee you there's going to be decent gold somewhere in this mound on this inside bend. And I might even move my sluice down here once I get that pile of gravels up there worked, because I'm trying to stay away from that clay just a little bit because it's so hard to deal with. So what I'm going to do is grab my shovel, grab that sluice right there, and see if there's anything in it. That'll tell me if that thing's set up right, and then I'll know if I can keep going with that pitch and water flow. Back in a bit. And it does look like it was catching good black sand. So I think if there's gold in that, I think we're in business the way we had it. Let's put it in a pan and see what we come up with. Back in a bit. All right, we did our first little just test cleanup here. And we'll take a little look down at my pan here. Let's see if I can get that to focus maybe a little bit. There we are. There's some pieces in there for sure. Now, am I going to get rich doing this? Nope. But it's a numbers game here, and I'm just here to get some exercise, have some fun, and see if I can't find some decent amounts of gold. And I think the sluice is going to work just the way we had it set up. So now it's time to break some back. I'm going to take a little bit more material out of this here area. Looks like Ryan beat it up pretty good. And then I'm going to slide right down there on that big bench right there. Back in a bit. Hey, let's do a little video update. I've been grinding away up there pretty hard. Me and the rig bomb here. And we're still getting gold up there, but I really wanted to check this area out down here, so I came down here and took a couple sample pans while I was monkeying around up there. And I found some really nice gold, and the ground's a little flatter to walk on here, and there's quite a bit more gravels to work without as much clay. Now, I've been getting the best gold. Here's the material I'm working with. Right out of the top 6 or so inches of this stuff. Now, I don't have a crazy amount of flow, but I do have enough that if I put just a little bit on my sluice, like such right here, I can just wash that all on down and mash that clay through the screen with my hand, okay? And that seems to be working pretty good. And I did a clean out already, and we are getting some pretty good gold and some nice big pieces too. So I'm going to continue like this for a little while. I'm going to do another, I don't know, 30 or so shovels out of this area here. And then I might scooch up just a little bit and work under this deposit right here. You see, like here's the bank, and then off the bank just a little bit, there's a line of gravels right there. That's where the gold's been that I found so far. And there's lots and lots of material to work here. So we're gonna keep plugging away at that, and then we're gonna have a little lunch. I brought some hot soup, hot sticks, and a great attitude. Back in a bit. Well, we did our clean out from our new spot, and it's not as good as I thought it was going to be, not by a long shot. There's about 30 little dots in there, and it's just not what I'm looking for. I expected a little bit more. I think just the lack of water and the lack of pitch is just kind of messing with my system here. So we're going to take a little lunch break here. I got a thermos of hot soup. We've got, what else do we got here? We got some beef sticks, of course. Miss Wizard packed Rigby some healthy snacks. Gee, I wonder what Rigby's gonna eat. All right, well, let's see if he wants a hot stick. Yep. All right, back in a bit. I'm just kidding, Miss Wizard. He'll eat something good today too. All right, let's get back to work. Back in a bit. All right, we've been at it for quite a while, and you know, we've got our share of flour gold all day. I mean, anywhere you go in here, you're getting, you know, the same 5 to, you know, whatever amount of pieces per pan. They're really small, and I have noticed that when you get down to that clay layer and it's stuck in that clay, there's some bigger pieces. So I'm going to spend a couple of hours here going up and down some of the areas in this creek with a little bit larger cobbles, like this area in particular right here. I'll show you in a minute. It's got, you know, hand to maybe large softball sized cobbles. You could tell they were deposited there by the flow and not just randomly, you know, that there's light, medium, and large. And I'll show you that in just a minute also. I think my best chance of getting a nugget for my little wager I've got with Highland Mining out of Scotland is work on this clay. So let's get to it. Back in a bit. All right, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now this creek runs off into the great wilderness up that way, and it's coming down and coming down and coming down, and it hits this turn right here. Okay, and it is sharp, really sharp. That's right back on itself. There's where we just were looking. That's where it's headed. All right. Now, Ryan has been working this inside bend here extensively. You can see a lot of his old holes here and tailings piles and whatnot. Hey, look at there. There's a nice looking rock right there. Looks like a red jasper or something. Hey, Chris, you probably like that, wouldn't you? Well, we'll just get rid of that. Get out of here. So, back to where we were. This inside bend here is coming around and it straightens out just a little bit right here, okay? Now you can see that on the outside bend, the rocks are quite a bit bigger. That's where the most flow is. The water is bouncing off that shore and the water is roiling like this, pushing the water, pushing itself out this way. All right, so it's pushing the lighter gravels out towards the inside bend. And I'll show you that right here. See all these small gravels right here? That's the result of the water being pushed off of this bank right here. All right. Now, as it comes down here, it's kind of straightened out right here. So all the rocks are kind of a mishmash of small, medium, large all together again. All right. But then here's another slight inside bend. And you can see the lack of gravels in this area from the water bouncing off. You can see it chewing at the bank and pushing the lighter gravels and probably the flower gold and maybe some bigger pieces over in this area right here. You know, the bank on this side here, it is an inside bend, but it's going to have a certain amount of water pushed back this way as well. So it's the concentrated material that I'm looking for is going to be right here. So I'm going to grab my super sluice here. And we're going to take some material right out of that line right there and see if we can't find a big piece to beat Highland Mining on our little challenge. Back in a bit. Oh yeah. So there's about 4 inches of material on this inside bend right here before you hit the clay. Here's the clay right here. Real super dense, hard packed. And on top of that, it's some really nice gravels that come right off of it. So I'm going to focus my efforts on this stuff here a little bit and see what we can come up with. Yeah, there's lots of clay in there. But I think that's where my biggest gold is going to be. So I'll bite the bullet and fight through it. I'll run one pan for you guys here, and then I'm going to get to work off camera just a little bit. Oh yeah, there's gold. Oh boy, I barely got this pan down, and I already see about 10. Let me get this pan down decently, and then we'll take a look. This is going to be a good pan. Back in a bit. All right, here's that pan right here. Now some of them are so small, I know this camera is never going to pick them up, but right there are some nice little pieces in there. All right, they're nice in my book anyway. I mean, that's just my first test pan in this area right here. So I think what I'm going to do to make hay is I'm going to get them down real close like that, throw them in my little container I got here, and get a nice pile of stuff in there so I'm not wasting time looking for specks. That's how we're going to make hay today. Back in a bit. All right, video update number 17,401. Rigby's tired. I'm tired. I've been nugget hunting for a couple hours. I haven't found a nugget yet, so I classified another half 5 gallon pail here through a 20 mesh screen, or actually an 1/8 inch screen. Yeah, I got my screen or my sluice set up here again without the screen, and it looks like it's running pretty darn well. I don't have as much pitch as I'd like to have, but you get what you get. So I'm gonna run this one through here, do another clean out and see what we get, and then maybe try another spot, or who knows. Back in a bit. All right, let's begin. Oh, doesn't that look tasty? Yeah, we'll throw that right on there. Yeah, that water will clear out in a little while. I was working upstream, so a lot of that clay will work itself down here, and then we'll be able to see what we got going on. But it sure looks like it's running nice and flat. No, hardly any turbulence at all. So I think we're in really good shape. Let me pick this back up and we can see our mats a little bit. Back in a bit. All right. I'm done running that sluice. I ran a couple of pails full. I've been screening it down to 1/8 inch. My back's getting sore. He's tired, but look what we got. We crushed it today. Just stick out of the way here. Look at the gold we got there. We got lots. Nice. Look at them long pieces in there. Let me give this a little bit of a tap. Look at those babies crawl right up. That is fantastic right there. Now we moved quite a bit of material. I would say, holy cow, probably, I don't know, 15 5-gallon pails full throughout the day here, on and off. I mean, it's not California gold by any means. This is Wisconsin, but I'll take that all day. And look at it. Look at that piece right there. I can actually feel it. That is awesome. A couple of bigger ones right there. And a lot of dust and flour. Really, really tiny stuff. But I tell you what, I'm using this sawtooth mat from Washington Beach Mining. That works awesome. Awesome. It catches everything. If you have the right pitch and water flow, you can't beat that stuff as far as easy clean outs and durability. That stuff there is the bomb. So we're gonna switch gears here just a little bit. I'm gonna get my my backpack loaded up, and we're gonna walk downstream a ways just to see if there's anything amazing down that way, because last time I was here we kind of went right from here to the vehicle. So I got a few hours left in the day here before I got a boot scoot, and we're gonna go see if there's something awesome down that way. Back in a bit. All right, we've been walking around up on this creek here downstream a little ways, and I think I found a neat little location right here. All right, I'm gonna spin the camera around and I'll show you why I think I'm gonna try some sample pans here. Back in a bit. All right, we're way up there, and we're walking down and around, and there's a few spots here and there where it looks like there's some bigger boulders, and there's probably some flour gold mixed in with all that stuff. But I'm really looking for something concentrated. And as that creek's coming down and around here, it hits this real sharp inside or turn right here, and it creates an inside corner right there with a big gravel bench. All right, now if I get in the water here, I'm standing right on hard clay. You can't step through it. It's just hard clay. All right, and all this gravel is sitting right up on top of it. Okay, and it's pretty good and hard packed. You can't smash through it. So somewhere, I guarantee it, from here to right there where that shore bank is, there's going to be a higher concentration of gold. Whether it be right here or right there, it's going to be higher than one or the other. So I'm going to take my super sluice and my shovel. I'm going to do a little panning right here. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to dig a trench right back that way, all the way to that bank, see if I can't find a higher concentration. And if I do, then I'm going to start shoveling this way and that way. And I think I'm going to spend the rest of my day right here because this, I mean, it's textbook. If you wanted to find some spot to practice your technique, this is it. Rigby's excited. He got his second wind, and I still have some treats left, so we're going to spend our day here doing a little sample panning. Back in a bit. All right, here's our first sample. I took a big heaping pan out of there, and I didn't even find one color. All right, so I know there's gold in this creek. We've been finding it all day, so I'm gonna start going that way. Let me get another big one out of the right down there, down to the clay, and we'll see what's in it. Back in a bit. All right, sample pan number 2, slightly towards the bank, just a little bit more, about, I don't know, about a foot, right down to the clay. And on that one, we got 2 little pieces. Let me see if I can get that underwater. And no glare. Yeah, this glare is something, I tell you. Heard that thing going on right there. Jeez. All right, there you can see it. All right, so there's a couple more pieces that way further. Hopefully it gets better than that because it's way better up that way. So let me take another one a little bit closer up. Back in a bit. All right, a little video update. I've been pounding my way up into the bank there. Well, towards the bank, not in the bank. And I just haven't been finding, I mean, I got 0, all of a sudden 2 and 3 and 2 and 1. So I'm not finding the concentrations that I'm after, you know, more than 5 or 10 or whatever. So I decided to move upstream of on this sandbar just a little bit, or this gravel bar, and there's a big rock in the creek here. So I took one shovel out of right on the front side of it, down, I don't know, 6-7 inches, and I didn't hit any clay there. And I got 5 pieces out of that one shovel. So I'm going to take my time and work my way around this boulder, see if maybe I can't find a little something good. Hey, Rigby, what do you think? All right, back in a bit. Well, I wasn't finding it down there on that little gravel bar. So I moved back upstream just a little bit because downstream it just turns into nothing but mush. There's no more gravel down there, and it goes into somebody's private property, and I'm not trespassing. I'm just out here enjoying myself. So I did come up but here just a little ways, and you can see that the deep part of the creek, this would be the outside bend, I guess, is right here, and right up in here is another gravel deposit deposited from this inside bend right here. It goes up and around and comes down and right here. So I took a sample out of right here. You can kind of see the size of the gravels that we're dealing with here. I'm kind of trying to look for those types of gravels here rather than these great big ones. And then right up in here, it turns into nothing but light wash sand like this here, and there's nothing in that stuff. So like your line is like right here, and I found it. There's 5 or 6 pieces in that one little shovel I just took out of there. And I'll grant that they're small. They're all small, but I'm still having fun, and it's still gold. So I'm gonna spend the rest of my day here, which is about another hour, working this gravel line right here. We're gonna get as much gold as we can and get the heck out of here because it's a brief 4-hour ride home. Back in a bit. Well, you know what? I decided before I left that sampling this area with a pan turned out to be pretty productive. So I bit the bullet, and I classified another half pail of material here, and I set the sluice up again. I'm a glutton for punishment. My back is on fire. But it's running really well, and we just started putting it through there, and I can tell right away that this is going to pan out real well. It's holding just the right amount of material, I think. Same it was the last time. And I'll run this whole pail and I'll throw it in my pan and we'll see what we get. Back in a bit. All right, we got that little sluice cleaned up. And there is some gold. Come on, baby, focus here. Where's my finger? There's a bunch, I don't know, 20 or 30 pieces. I thought we were doing a little bit better than that. But we didn't. There's one decent piece, and there's all kinds of little tiny, minute dots up in that top edge there. But I don't know. I don't know. It's here. I'm tired. I'm going to take another little walk upstream a little bit. I keep saying one more. But we're going to do one more. Back in a bit. All right, I've been doing a pan down here. I did a kind of a clay spot. I ran it through my number 8 classifier there. First to mash that clay through there. Kind of hoping maybe I can find me another couple of big pieces here. I got a couple of decent ones today, but all of a sudden they just shut right off. So I don't know what's going on here. Let me try and peel this one back. Got that pretty close. And there's always a good amount of black sand in this stuff. And there's gold in it. I already see 4 or 5. Let me peel that back a little more. Absolutely, just minute flower. Maybe I can get it to show up right in there. Absolutely, there's 4 or 5 of them in there. That's one little pan. I'm pretty happy with that. I just been doing little pans and giving them a real quick pan out and snuffering it up, because it's just about time to go. I keep saying I gotta get out of here. Look at there, every time I pull that back, more shows up. I like it a lot. So I'm gonna do one more and then get out of here. Hey Rigby, you don't even wake up no more. He's mad at me. Back in a bit. Well, we made it back to the truck. That's a long hike. It's kind of swampy back in there. I wasn't, it's doable. But after a long day of panning, you got a sore back. Well, them hikes get to you. I'm 50. Come on. Tell you what, I'm gonna make the big ride home. I'm gonna get all that gold in a black pan and in my shop where we can take a better look at it, and we'll pick it up there. Back in a bit. And we are back at the shop. And there's the gold. Got it all in my black pan so we can get a good look at it. We did really well in my opinion. Some really nice pieces in there. Look at that nice long piece right there. And lots of flour and dust. Look at that. Ooh, baby. And that great gold is going right in the can. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe, and please do leave a comment. I appreciate each and every one. Check out my Patreon page in the description below. Half the money goes back to you guys in gold pay dirt giveaways. Flower Gold Wizards, out.